Hello, everybody. Welcome to the very first rebranded Hey Guy podcast. For the first time, we are back in 2025. Thank you so much for tuning in. I believe this is going to be a one heck of a story that I'm going to tell you. And, this stuff only happens to me, it doesn't happen to anybody else. So, I hope you do enjoy this story. Um, it's definitely one for the ages. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Um, but I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my interaction with a opossum, and I'm gonna get into a little bit of a story here momentarily. And yeah, so if you're watching this on the replay, as you can see at the bottom, uh, please subscribe to the Hey Guy podcast on YouTube and give us a like. I'd appreciate it. That means so much. Share it out if you would like. Also, that means so much and that does help. So, like I said, my interaction with a opossum recently. So here is the deal. A lot of you guys know that I got a cat a few months ago, and Phil is a rather large cat. So I would fill up Phil's bowl of food. I'd give him a cup or two in the morning before I left for work. And when I would come home, it would all be gone. Or, when I left for work, there was still food in there. But at night, when I would go in and check, um, there would be no food in his bowl at all. None whatsoever. So here I am blaming Phil, poor guy, that he's eating too much food. So the first, I don't know, maybe the first 3 weeks, I thought that he was going through a 12-pound bag of food, which he was. He was going through that big of a bag. Um, and you know, cats should not be eating that much. But like I said, he's a hungry guy. He likes his food, so he does like to eat. I can't blame him for that. But um, so we're gonna fast forward here a little bit, and just uh 2 weeks ago, or a week ago, from today, it was a Sunday night. I was sitting in my recliner in my living room, and I heard something in Phil's bowl of food. Now, just like anyone else, sometimes, a mouse or something gets in. So I assumed that there was a mouse that was stuck in his food bowl and was trying to get out. So I get out of the recliner and, I'm not going to grab the mouse. So I get a broom and I start walking back the hallway. And as I start walking back to the hallway, out pops a possum in my house. A possum. I'm looking at it just like I'm looking at you right now. I could not believe it. I was like a deer in headlights. I thought, I'm like, okay, I'm tired. I take off my glasses. I wipe my eyes. Maybe I'm seeing things. Nope. There is that little bastard opossum. So I start walking towards it, and he or she runs into my other bedroom. I'm like, oh, great. So I have him stuck in that bedroom. So I'm going to get him. I don't know what I'm going to do with him, when I get him, I'm going to beat the shit out of him with a broom. I don't know at this point what I'm going to do. I was just shocked. So, first thing that I thought was, okay, how's he getting in to my house? And where I live, we do have issues with skunks. We have groundhogs, possums. So I'm like, okay, there has to be an entry point, which, okay, I have um, electric heat. So I have vents in my floor that shoots up the heat. So I'm like, okay. And I talked to my two friends. I talked to my buddy Rob and my buddy JJ. I was like, there's no way that this possum is that smart to come through my heating duct, open up the vent, put it back down, come get the food, and go back. And remind you, I never seen this possum during the day, so they are nocturnal. I was told. I did not know that, so that's why that they came out. He was coming out at night. So um, I come home from work. I couldn't find the possum, so I come home from work the next day, and I go into the room, and I start looking around. Here, the little bastard, the size of a dollar bill, he either chewed or clawed a hole the size of a dollar bill in the corner of my room, from the floor into the wall. So that's how he was getting in. So at this point, I'm like, okay, what the hell am I gonna do? So he's gonna keep coming back. Well, guess who came back that night? The possum. So I called my buddy. He said, I got a trap. Come up and get it. So I stop at his house after work. I get this trap. This is I can't even remember what day it is. Anyway, so I put the trap in the bedroom. In the bedroom, guys. In the bedroom. And I go to bed for the night. I wake up in the morning to go to work. The next morning, I happen to look into the bedroom and guess what was in the trap. Now, let me tell you, trying to set this trap was a task itself. Took me a freaking hour just to set this damn trap. I am not handy with anything. Anybody that knows me, I do not own many tools. I think I own a hammer and a screwdriver. That is it. I'm not handy. I'm not smart when it comes to fixing stuff. All my friends can tell you, and they know that I am not handy. I am not smart. I'm not. I'll be the first to admit it. So anyway, there's this possum in the trap. I got the possum. Great. So this little bastard is hissing at me. He's going nuts. I leave for work, so I take the possum with me. I put him into my Jeep, and I take him many miles away, up onto a mountain, on my way to work, and I let him go. I let him go. So I know having possums around are great for ticks, yada yada yada, but not in my house. Come on. So I got some grief for that. Oh, you should have left them. Okay, I understand that, but when they damage your property, what are you gonna do? Um, so anyway, that day I come home from work, and obviously it's winter time. I can't fix the hole right now to the way I want it. So I got spray foam. I sprayed the foam where that hole was. So temporarily it is fixed. And thank goodness no opossums have returned. So now, and this is where it gets funny. This part is a joke. So many years ago, me and my buddy JJ, we went to Indiana, PA for a TNA wrestling show. Excuse me. And after the show was over, we're on our way back home, coming into Johnstown, and we're in Armagh, PA. Armagh. We call it Armagh. It's an inside joke. But anyway, we're coming up close to the United High School there, and it's I don't know what time it was. It was 10 o'clock at night, maybe. I'm not sure. It was blackout, typical night. So we're starting to come up the hill, and right in the middle of the road is a possum, a big old bastard possum. So we're chugging along in my oh my god, what kind of car did I have? A Ford Taurus. At the time I had a Ford Taurus. So we're going up the hill, and coming down the hill towards me was a 18 wheeler. Or not 18 wheeler, I'm sorry. Like a coal truck type thing. It might have been an 18 wheeler. I can't really remember. So all I know is if I would have swerved to miss this opossum that was in the road, if I would have swerved to the left into the incoming traffic, that truck would have hit us. We wouldn't be here today. If I would have swerved to the right, we would have hit a guardrail, I'm sure, something. So I hit this damn opossum. I just completely hit him. I don't like to hit animals, but it happens. But it was either the opossum or us. I believe I made the right decision. So the couple days later, after I caught the possum here at my house, I uh, I called my buddy JJ, and I said, "Hey," I said, "You know that possum that I caught?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, I got DNA done, or I got a DNA test done on it." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, I got the DNA test," and I said, "You know what? It came back to he's a relative of the opossum that I ran over on our way home from TNA wrestling in Armagh." And he started busting out laughing. It is the funniest. I mean, now it's funny. At the time, it wasn't funny because this damn thing was made of destroyed property. But anyway, we both laughed our asses off. So I made the joke, it's karma. He's coming back for me. The whole family of opossums is coming for me since I ran over their relative. So that's the running joke. Um, so yeah, that is my experience with a opossum. I hope to God I never have to do it again. It wasn't pleasant. I couldn't sleep that night because I was afraid that this damn possum was going to come in and jump on my bed, bite me. I don't know. But the main thing is Phil, my cat, had no idea that this possum was even coming in. If he did, he didn't give a shit. Maybe they were friends. I don't know at this point. So, Phil sleeps a lot. He loves to sleep. So maybe this opossum was coming in, getting the food, and bolting. He was gone. So I would think, okay, if Phil would see this, they would get into a fight. It would wake me up. No, never happened. So this was going on for God knows how long. So the, the story, poor Phil was getting blamed for eating all this food, and he wasn't. So now I feel bad because now it feels like, okay, why ain't this guy feeding me? Which I was feeding him, but I just felt bad, and I hope that Phil Phil doesn't think that I was not feeding him because his little buddy, the opossum, was um, taking his food. But that is the opossum story. Um, and true story that I did not make this up. I promise you. Um, I posted on my Facebook picture of this opossum in the cage. I got proof this stuff only happens to me. It's been one hell of a since late November to December. It's been one of those months, and hopefully, um, I'm all done. I don't know how much more this stuff I can take, but I understand shit happens. But that's life. Um, but yeah, I wanted to I wanted to make this my first um show for the Hey Guy podcast, the rebranded one. Um, because I think it's very funny and it's amusing. Now it is, but back then when it was happening, it was not. But yes, so hopefully, we're good now. Everything's gonna be on the up and up. So it is the new year, guys. Happy New Year's. I forgot to say that right off the bat. Happy New Year's. I hope everybody had a healthy and safe 2024. Um, and coming, so when I decided I was bringing back the Hey Guy podcast, and the only reason why I'm doing it solo is it's just so hard to get the other guys for, you know, to come on even for the Pro Wrestling Extreme Talk podcast. I understand that that's fine, but I wanted to get content out there. Something that I wanted to do that I didn't need the other two guys. So that's why I decided to bring back the A Guy podcast. If you're into pro wrestling, please check out on YouTube Pro Wrestling Extreme Talk. We got a lot of interviews, a lot of shows on there with JJ and Reese. Um, and also, like I said, many guests that we did interviews with. So check it out. Any of you guys, you uh, have any resolutions for 2025? I noticed everybody has the let's go to the gym, let's lose weight, let's do all this, yada yada yada. And by February, nobody's going to the gym anymore. So, um, shoot for goals that you want to do for resolutions. Write them down and make sure that they're something that's you're not going to stop doing in a few weeks. I understand things happen. I'm guilty of it too. I was all about the gym years ago, going, let's lose weight, let's get healthier, and then boom, February comes, I'm not going to the gym. But everybody's guilty of it. I think at one point in time in their life. Um, so with that being said, I'm going to end the Hey Guy podcast with um, this. I hope that everybody that's watching uh, has a fantastic, healthy, and safe 2025. And to my friends and family, um, you know, same thing, healthy, safe. Um, and you know what? Let's all get wealthy too. Let's make some more money this year. Money's always good, but please support. I got a lot of friends that have businesses. Always, check them out. Support them. I'm not saying don't have to support the big chains, but or the big chains. I'm sorry. But go out and support the mom and pop stores also. Pizza places, food places. I mean, my goodness. Um, you know, take the family out. Spend a few bucks at a local restaurant that's not a big chain. But that's it. Um, Again, I hope everybody has a great 2025, and I hope that you enjoyed this show, the Opossum show. Apparently, um, but yeah, many stories to come, and some other stuff I'm going to be doing is I will go live with something. So I like to go live. I want to hear people's thoughts on what I'm going to be talking about. Um, You won't get nothing political on my podcast or on the Hey Guy podcast. I will not talk anything political. If that offends you, I'm sorry. If not, great. Um, I'm not a political type of guy, and I will not talk about that. Um, but that's it. I got some ideas in my head that I want to do, and some of them sound good, some of them look good on paper, but who knows what's going to happen? Um, Maybe you like it, maybe you won't like it, but yeah. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching the first Hey Guy podcast, the rebranded version. Until then, I will see you next time.